people going to think of our new buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back? Yep.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
This is Brad Atwell back on Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith of the Barron County Trojans. If you'd like to check out the podcast of Ask the Coach with game film after the show, then you can do that at watchwclu.com or just go to wcluradio.com and click on the video link. And we want to thank McDonald's of Glasgow for sponsoring Ask the Coach podcast with game film. And if you need a cup of coffee or something to eat, just run over by McDonald's of Glasgow and stop in there and they'll take care of you. Coach, we talked a little bit about our defense. We've talked a little bit about our offense. Watching the game last night, there definitely were some positive things that came away from there on the offensive side of the ball, and definitely some things to come back and work on defensively. We're going to get a week off. We have an open week this next week, and maybe an opportunity for not only for the coaching staff to back up and kind of regroup a little bit, but hopefully a chance for our guys to back away from it a little bit and not have to just worry about game planning for the next week, and to be able to come in against Bowling Green and come in and to compete in a real way against a real good football team.
Well, I told our guys last night after the game, I know, obviously everyone was disappointed in the outcome of last night, not only the loss, but how we lost. And, I just say, we've been burning it at both ends since, July the 20th or whenever it was. And a lot of teams do this same thing, but, we're going to take 4 or 5 days off here, or come back in about next Thursday or Friday, and just recharge. I told them, get away from it. Don't think about football. Recharge your batteries. And, when we come back, let's have a fresh and renewed attitude about it. And we'll go down there. We're going to play a really good team in Bowling Green. I want us to compete. I know they're really good, and I think our kids know that that's a really good football team. But, we need to go down there and compete and play hard and get better and tackle and everything, and then finish the season right and do it the way we need to, because we'll have Grayson County and Edmonson County to finish up the season the last 2 weeks. And those are 2 games that we need to win. I mean, those are no question that we need to win those 2 games and get after it and kind of get out of this rut that we've been in here for the last 3 or 4 or 5 weeks and get this thing back on track.
It's easy once you get in that rut. It's easy to keep stepping off in that same rut. And so hopefully that's what this is going to do this week is to kind of have a chance to step back and to maybe reevaluate where each individual person is, because we've talked about this before. I think the first week on the air is football is not a one-man game. You can take one good athlete on the field, and if a team can scheme defensively to take care of him, and then you've got 10 other guys out there that can make a play. And so hopefully we'll realize that, hey, this is a team sport. We've got to come back together. We're going to have to do this as a unit. And so hopefully that's what this week will do, is allow some of these guys just to get away from football. And let's hope mom and daddy don't say anything about football this week, and aunts and uncles, and they just stay away from it for a week. I think that would probably help more than anything.
Well, I agree. Not only get us, give a few days off, and it'll help us physically, not even for the guys that are, actually got some, things going on with them, but to get some, get their bodies recharged a little bit and get, from just being beat up and bruised up and that type stuff. But, also mentally, football's as tough a mental game on you as it is physical. And, sometimes it's just good to get away from it and recharge your batteries and get going again.
I think last night, I hopefully we came away from a game last night. I don't remember any major injuries last night. I know the week before, it was good to see Seth Gross back last night, because really and truly after – the game at Warren East, we didn't know if Seth was going to be back. And of course, Seth started last night at center, and it was good to see him back on the field. Of course, Jordan Hill went out at Warren East, and Jordan didn't get to play last night with a shoulder injury. So, hopefully this week away from it again, and hopefully by Bowling Green, hopefully Jordan may be able to come back and be a part back on that defense, because I mean, he's a factor on the defensive side of the ball at the line of scrimmage.
Jordan is, and he's a little undersized for a defensive lineman at about 205, but he's probably been our most consistent guy on their defensive line. He's done a really good job and he's kind of been our bell cow over there, so to speak. And he can play every snap and does a really good job, and he's real coachable and has done a good job. So I think we definitely missed him last night from that aspect, and from a depth standpoint too, especially against a team that like Greenwood that we played last night, that's going to bang the fullback in there every play, and that's what Jordan Hill does. He's going to go and attack the fullback every play, and I think we definitely missed him last night from a depth standpoint. I was glad to have Seth back last night because I was a little worried about him, up until about Tuesday, but Tuesday at practice, he said he thinks he's going to be able to go, and went through some work and got it done. Then had a full practice Wednesday, and so it was good to have him back. Glad he wasn't hurt that bad, and so again, those are things. Hopefully after the break here, and Jordan, we can get him back after fall break, and that's kind of the game plan with him, to get him back for the Bowling Green game and get him going for the last 2 or 3, 4 games of the year here.
Being able to see Snead come in last night and carry the football the way he did, with 19 rushes for 173 yards. We've got 2 running backs that we can bring in there that's very efficient. We had rode Ellis, and they just got to where that they were keying on what we were doing. Ellis is real good at that zone read and doing the cutback and seeing the field. Just a good all around football player. Period. Can play anywhere you put him. He does the job he's supposed to do. Since he's been in high school, he's played quarterback, he's played running back, he plays on the defensive side of the ball. Last night he lined up at tight end, so he can do anything you ask him to do. And being able to have what he offers, and then also what Snead offers, it looks like one of those things where that hopefully we can get some momentum with that on the offensive side of the ball, and cause us to have a little different look for some teams where it's not as easy to say, okay, this is the only person we've got to stop this week.
Well, you're right about Ellis, because last night he played most of the game at tight end until Zach Snead came out at running back. Then we put Ellis back there. But, we also put Ellis at outside linebacker last night, and he played the whole game and did an outstanding job. I mean, against their offense, and was physical, and and that's what I've said all year. We could put Ellis anywhere, and he's going to be a good player. And last night was just a prime example of that. And of course, you're right about Zach. I mean, we've kind of been, I don't want to say we've been saving him, because Ellis has done a great job at running back, but because Zach had played such an important position for us defensively as our strong safety. We didn't really want him to get all worn down playing both ways and all that type stuff. So we haven't played him a whole lot on offense. But with the weather cooling off and that type stuff, we just made the decision this week that we're going to start playing him some more at running back. And and I thought he handled it pretty well. He had to come out a couple of times because he just wasn't used to playing that many snaps. But for the most part, he held it well. Thought he ran extremely hard on offense last night. We had also moved him to inside linebacker and to give us a little more speed there. So we made some change-ups after the East game, and I think that some of them worked out really good, and some of them maybe didn't. But we're going to move forward here and try to get a little more speed on the field on both sides of the football.
That's what you want, is speed on the field. We talked about that a little bit last week, maybe not as much on the air as we probably did, before the show. But when you've got speed, you've got something that if you make a mistake, you can catch up. If you've got speed in the backfield, or running the football, just like what we saw last night, and even though Greenwood had some good speed last night, it was not that overbearing speed. It was just they were doing a good job attacking the line of scrimmage. They were doing a good job getting to our linebackers, and once you do that, and you got a running back like they had, and you got a quarterback like what they've got, it's hard to defend that, especially when they get up into your second level.
Well, it is, and speed is the thing that can overcome a lot of mistakes, and let's make you look like a really good coach if you've got some speed and that type stuff. And and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to a point where we can get more speed on the field and help us defend that. But I think also a thing that is oftentimes that people don't take into consideration is one team playing with a lot of confidence and another team that has lost a few games and that type of stuff and not playing with a lot of confidence. And I think we ran into a team last night that is playing with a lot of confidence right now. And and we were a team that's lost 4 straight games. So it was the combination of that, and we're not a very confident football team right now, and we've got to get that back. I'm hoping this break will clear our minds out a little bit and finish the season strong here.
All right, well, we're going to take a short break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back on WCLU Sports with Ask the Coach with Coach Jeff Griffith of the Barron County Trojans.